Do you want people to read your writing and understand it? Of course you do. Whether you're writing a report, an email, or the next bestseller, writing has the power to captivate, entertain, motivate, educate, and inform readers. So learning to write well is an important skill. And today I'm going to show you how you can start doing that by eliminating just one word. Hello writers in training, and welcome to my channel where I offer writers like you ways to develop your writing skills and self-publish your work with a new training episode every 2 weeks. So be sure to hit that red subscribe button down below. I'm Shannon, a self-published author writing under the pen name SC Houston. I used to teach college English and literature, and one lecture I covered every semester was concise writing. Concise writing is an important skill to exercise and master. To make your writing more effective, you have to write to the point, use clear word and sentence structures, and choose words that mean exactly what you want to say. Simply, you don't want to confuse your readers, because then they will miss the message and likely stop reading. This is a valuable skill to master in the business world, but several principles can be applied to creative writing too. In fact, many writers have covered this topic right here on YouTube. Authors such as thriller writer Brandon McNulty, adult fiction writer Abby Emmons, young adult science fiction and fantasy writer Bethany Atazada, and young adult writer Natalia Lee have all offered great advice on words to cut or filler words to avoid, which supports writing concisely. In their videos, they present a list of words to search for and give awesome examples of how to improve your writing. However, today I want to concentrate on how to attack just one word with a list of examples to replace that word in your writing, and the word is vary. Vary is an adverb that modifies or qualifies an adjective, verb, or other adverb, and it's often seen as a filler word to be cut or replaced. Vary makes sentences longer, and it usually doesn't make the idea stronger. Sometimes you can just take out the word vary, such as in very quickly. Quickly is another adverb, so this should just be quickly. In most cases, if you've used vary with another adverb, then just cut it. However, when vary is used in conjunction with an adjective, you can often replace the two words, the vary plus adjective combination, with one strong adjective. Here is a short scene with the top 10 vary examples I have often seen in my students' writing or my own. After spending hours typing up her essay and feeling very tired, Kelly was very angry at having to start over. Sure, this was something that happened to people before, where very often the computer crashes, but this was much worse. Just as she had finished the last sentence, Ranch, her very big 22-pound cat, knocked over her water glass, spilling liquid across the laptop. Kelly threw the machine to the floor and pulled Ranch to her chest in a very painful squeeze, very scared as the very old computer fizzled and lanced little electrical bolts everywhere. It was very noisy for several seconds, then stilled. Very serious, Kelly released her cat, who bounded away without a care, and she knelt down next to the laptop, eyeing it. This was very bad. Not only has she lost her paper, but she'd also lost her only means to type it up. Standing up with hands on hips, she glared at Ranch, who ignored her as he licked a paw. So this is a bit exaggerated in how many varies appear in the writing, but I wanted to be able to show you guys how you can make it more concise so that it can become clearer to the reader. Here is a more concise example. After spending hours typing up her essay and feeling exhausted, Kelly was furious at having to start over. Sure, this happened to people before where frequently the computer crashes, but this was much worse. Just as she had finished the last sentence, Ranch, her massive 22-pound cat, knocked over her water glass, spilling liquid across the laptop. Kelly threw the machine to the floor and pulled Ranch to her chest in an excruciating squeeze, petrified as the ancient computer fizzled and lanced little electrical bolts everywhere. It was deafening for several seconds, then stilled. Grave, Kelly released her cat, who bounded away without a care, and she knelt down next to the laptop, eyeing it. This was terrible. Not only had she lost her paper, but she'd lost her only means to type it up. Standing up with hands on hips, she glared at Ranch, who ignored her as he licked a paw. I want to point out that while vary can often be replaced, there are a couple of examples of when the word can be useful. One, when it's used as an intensifying modifier. In these instances, vary gives the adjective or adverb a stronger meaning. For example, by saying a very short man instead of a short man, you stress that the man is short. Adding very gives an emphasis to the adjective or adverb you use to describe a noun, such as a person, a situation, an action, or an object. 2, when very is used as an adjective, it is fine to leave it in your writing, although this is not common. For example, reading the book touched my very soul. The idea is that you want to clean up writing by picking word choices and creating sentences that are more concise and readable. Practicing skills with the language helps you exercise your writing muscle. Hopefully this has helped you to see just one way to modify your writing to be more concise. I have a full list of 150 examples of varied words and their replacements, which you can find in the description box below. Thank you for hanging out with me through this episode today, and happy writing!